Welcome back to Heroes of Light and Shadow for our first side quest. That record scratch can only mean one thing. It's time for the Fail Channel! Today on the Fail Channel, we have something rather special in store for you all. What I'd like to call a fail/win. This was still technically a failure, but the way in which this one particular character simply remained defiant, even in the face of their certain inevitable death, was still quite amazing, and thus I would like to show it. So, without further ado, I give you, if Linda is going down, she's taking everybody with her. It was early into this chapter, and I decided to get Linda some easy experience by having her attack these Armored Knights. Unfortunately, she wasn't quite fast enough to double them, blame those pathetic luck with her speed growth in the previous chapter. But thankfully, she gained speed there. Unfortunately, it wouldn't last. So, finishing off this armor here with Ryan. A shame a level up like that had to be in one of my bad runs. Now, it was around this point I realized Linda was a little too far forward for my liking, and that she would probably die next turn unless I did something about it. Well, I made my best attempt to, by putting Aaron here in front of her. Unfortunately, that was not enough. I ideally would have wanted Katria below, but sadly, the archers would have seen to that. And so, Linda gets taken down to incredibly low HP, and she is going to die next turn. Well, fortunately, she's doubling these armors now. But that's not going to save her. So this archer comes, and I felt for sure she was going to meet her end. Yep, that's right. Dodges, then crits with an attack that would have one-shotted anyway. You go, Linda, you are awesome, but sadly, not long for this world. But she gets an A for effort. I'm Big Klingy, and this has been the Fail/Win channel. Right, now back to the real playthrough. Unfortunately, side quests don't get, map, shots or opening scrolls. Instead, we get a very brief, and I mean very, very, very brief, intro here by Martha Jagan. Yes, that's basically it. That's all. But let's check out how's everyone. For some reason that reminds me of a, line that one of the characters in Xenoblade Chronicles says when they level up. Yeah, I'm playing that game at the moment. And oh, sweet lord, no! Why is the game wanting to force malicious support conversations on me? It's as if they, why? Anyway, so apparently, according to Jagan, the assassins are now trying to hunt down and kill all of our allies from the previous game. We can't let them do that, can we? But first, we've got a lot of supports. There are actually some pretty nice supports here. Yeah, here's Ryan and Mary Sue's second support. This one here, well, you can obviously see the direction this is going. It's funny, I always wondered when I first saw this, I always thought, wouldn't it be interesting if, their parents had another child, a girl, and there was a later game set, in the Arcania chronology, where Gordon was grown up and pretty much had the same role as George. Ryan was like a stronger archer, and they had their younger sibling, as the sort of, younger one, kind of in Ryan's role, and the three of them could do the triangle attack. I always thought that would actually be pretty cool, but, it seems like the, Arcania sequel is, now set, thousands of years, after this one, so that's not really likely now, but still. Oh, right, here we go. Yes, Luke's dialogue is always good. And so we'll be hearing more of Mary Sue the Terrible. Sadly, only Luke actually calls them that. So yeah, basically Luke's nickname, is used in the prologue for all of his supports. And I'm actually not sure where else. So sadly, it's kind of underused, which is a shame because it was such a perfect title. Anyway, this is actually a pretty basic conversation, but well, admittedly, we get to see Luke acting a bit more sane than he usually does. Slightly risen now, I love that. Slightly. Oh, not that again. You might not, you might want to be careful how much time you spend around her, Luke, because the opposite might end up happening. She has a habit of seducing every canon character she sees. Now, this conversation with Aaron, I will admit, these supports are the one reason I am keeping him in the party now. Because you want to see his supports, seriously. His supports are really great. I read them in the Japanese version. I was honestly really intrigued to read more of them whenever I saw them. And I actually kept him on my party just so I could see all of his supports. They're actually that good. But of course, since we're here in the right road here, we know these ones are going to be pretty angst-filled. Now Aaron's doing the whole, oh, that was nothing, that big coughing fit there. And so basically this conversation is all about what it means to be a knight, and it turns out Aaron has some pretty deep stuff to offer in this regard, but we won't really be seeing it until the later conversations. But anyway, again, I used to hate Aaron because of his low growth rates and stuff. I read these supports, completely changed my opinion of him. Like, seriously, this character development he gets is actually really good, and it makes him actually one of the most deep and interesting characters in the game, actually, in my opinion. Oh, look, here's one, that doesn't involve Mary Sue. Is this the first I've got? Now this one pretty much speaks for itself. I actually laughed out loud when I first saw this. It seems Luke's habit of nicknaming people extends to others, not just Mary Sue. Anyway, he's trying to come up with one for Rhodey here. Cold Eyes, eh? That kind of reminds me of Edgeworth a bit. Anyway. I'm not sure he does want one. Oh, this is gonna be good. Okay. Could be better. There we go, perfect! That was the bit I was like... Oh, that was hilarious, I love that line. Oh dear, he is crazy. That is now officially Luke's new name. And Rhodey is now Cold Eyes. So, Cold Eyes and oh dear, he's crazy will be our red-green knight duo for this game. Such a shame I won't be keeping them in my party, because I would have wanted to see where those conversations end up going. Now, for this chapter, if you look at the map here, you'll see there's quite a lot of armored units here. With a couple of archers behind them, so that will be sort of annoying for Katria. A big open space here, a couple more armors, and whoa! We saw her in the prologue a little bit, but yep, this is Klein, a sniper with some pretty nice stats and a silver bow. That's not going to be good. Fortunately, we won't have to worry about it too much. Now, what I've done here is, I decided Mary Sue should be a mage today. Because of, you know, those armors, perfect time to try it out. Of course, you can only use basic spells, but I guess I'll trade for Linda's Thunder Tome, which only has, like, one more might than fire. There's very little difference between the two, actually. You'd think Thunder would have, like, maybe a tiny bit of critical or something? Anyway, Mary Sue is a mage. Her speed and skill kind of suffered a bit, and her magic is really low considering she spent most of her life as a non-magic class, but she does have the benefit of having ludicrously high defense for a mage, due to, again, spending most of her career in a physical class. The Quick Lance, I just got that off How's Everyone. It's basically Brave Lance Light. It has the same effect as a Brave Lance, but, less powerful. So, Catria can attack 4 times in a row with that most of the time, and that could be useful. Well, at least until we actually start getting Brave Lances. Right, now the one thing you should know about side quests here. Side quests have even lower deployment counts than normal. You really can't take many people into side quests, so we only get 6 slots in this one. So, use them wisely. I'm keeping Aaron in because I think I'm going to keep that mysterious item, which we don't know what it is yet, on Mars at the moment. And yes, here is Riz. And that's all we'll be hearing from him for the moment. But, yep, he's back. Unfortunately, he's been found by assassins and is now surrounded. So we're going to have to hurry and rescue him. And we really should, because, he's up against a bit of a psycho. And yes, for the first time since the prologue, we're seeing Katarina, or should we say Aine, the real her this time. And yes, Aine explains her job here. That, she is basically going after everyone who sided with you in Shadow Dragon. Yeah, we don't want to let her do that. Especially since there's a whole bunch of amazing characters from the first game who haven't quite joined us yet. Well, I mean, they're only dealing with a defenseless priest at this point. But Katarina gives a very blunt reply there. Maybe that's because tacticians couldn't actually fight until awakening, I don't know. Lovely. Even more lovely. Yeah. She's not one you want to mess with. Anyway, in contrast to the long, drawn-out and kind of boring plotting last chapter, this one's actually pretty short and quite simple. The map is pretty small too. And for some reason, Linda doubles the one on the top, but not one on the bottom. Anyway, we want her to equip Nosferatu here, otherwise she's gonna have difficulty surviving. You saw what happens when she didn't, back in the, failed channel. But yeah, we've got armored units here, so that's part of the reason why, that was the same level up as last time. Does that mean the RNG is the same? I'm a little worried to think that. I've got to be careful very soon there, although she does have abnormally high defense for a mage at this point. Unfortunately, she's not one round in because of her, low magic stat, but still, she can weaken quite well. And I'm probably going to have to reclass her to mage quite often just to get that magic up, because I kind of want her to be able to do everything. She is a Mary Sue after all. Now, if only Ryan's level up is as good as it was last time. No, it wasn't. That's not good. Oh well, at least every point of strength helps. I don't even need the rapier to get rid of this guy. Okay, we've got to watch those archers. I would like to get Catria in there, but without those archers there, I can't really. So I guess we should have Aaron be a block again. Again, I actually don't need him to block Ryan, because that's surprisingly high. I need to stop saying that, actually. Okay, lock in all ranges button, really useful here. Make sure you get Reese to run. But we have to hurry, because he will get surrounded eventually. What was I saying about Mary Sue not doing much damage? Yeah. And and they, of course, go for one of the lower defense. Come on. No, double hit. Mary Sue, stop being such a Sue. I guess I can't really tell her to stop that, but anyway, nope, level up. Strength, magic, and defense in one level up, that's, yeah, pretty... strength. So again, see, yeah, this area down here, below that mountain there, that's pretty much Reese's only safe zone. Even then, he'll eventually get backed into a corner. So you need to hurry up and rescue him if you want to see him alive. Again, of course, by this... Why did I use... Oh, I guess I just didn't want to take off another use of Nosferatu. This is where I was starting to regret trading away her Thunder Tome. Because if she had still had it, I would have wanted to use Thunder there. That really did merit a shot from Aura, and I didn't want to waste Nosferatu either. I've forgotten actually where you get another Nosferatu tome. I know you get one from a certain character who will be joining us in a hugely spoilerific way later. I don't know if you get one in the chest later or not. Hey, sword level up, that's nice. Even though he really doesn't need any swords at this point. And now the archer's gone, Catria can fly, and Aaron is going to run to get to Rias. And in a few turns we get this scene, which shows us we don't actually have to worry about Klein's scary stats because she'll be leaving the map now. So unfortunately we don't get to completely kick her ass now. Watch out though, because even though the castle is now completely undefended, that armor next to it will run at you given the chance. And yes, we need to get right here to save Rias. If we can take out this archer, Catria should be safe to rescue him. Of course, sadly, there's no rescuing system in this game, so we can't just pick him up and carry him away. So instead, he'll just have to hold out until we manage to get someone to block him off. Meanwhile, our other characters will stand next to this fort, because as Klein hinted, yep, we're going to have incoming reinforcements soon. Unfortunately, they're nothing we can't handle. Fortunately, they're nothing we can't handle. But we might want to make sure we're healed. Yes, now this is about the point. Rias is totally backed into a corner now, but fortunately he's safe. So basically, yeah, this is the turn you want to reach him by, because as you can see, he is totally backed into a corner with all those ranges. If he takes another step, he is going to be lanced. And we don't want that, do we? Careful of Rias, careful of Rias. Okay, that was a stupid move. That was a really stupid move, because you know why? You'll see. Now, I kind of had to be forced to kill that guy below with an arrow. That was even stupider. Oh, I guess I was banking on them attacking Mary Sue here. Anyway, you've always got to watch out for reinforcements on hard or above, because, as I've said, they can move on the turn they show up, and is this the first time I'm actually showing off reinforcements that can move the turn they arrive? I believe it is. Yes. This is why I was kind of overly paranoid about reinforcements showing up in Chapter 2. If they can move on the turn they arrive, that can be really annoying, especially if they show up. So I'm going to attack unarmed Aaron. Especially, what I mean is, they can move on the turn they arrive. This is especially annoying because, wait for it, not quite yet. Ow. Waiting for it. Oh, nice double. Oh, sadly not enough to kill, but still. Wait for it, this. Yeah, this happens. This is why you've always got to be careful near forts on hard or above. Fortunately, he survived. But he's not going to survive another attack like that, and this is why I want Linda to have a Thunder Tome. Seriously, you don't want to be wasting aura like that. Fortunately, we actually will be getting a Hammer and Staff pretty soon, but, anyway. Oh, crap. This is not good. I was actually somewhat afraid of Reese dying here. he's got literally nowhere to run. Nowhere to run, but here. See, it looks like he's in their range, but if I move Katria right down here, after she attacks, if she crits, will be awesome. No crit, but still, my plan has worked because Riz is now safe. She just blocked off that enemy there, and yep, Riz is now safe. And the, I'll go very soon next week. And Aaron is holding his other arm back. Yeah, an awful lot of armor. I just skipped that combat because Aaron is unarmed, so you know, you really didn't want to see that. And another one gone. Only 2 enemies left on the map, and the castle is completely undefended, so this shouldn't take too long. This map's actually pretty simple, you just need to watch out for the reinforcements. Other than that, it's rapier time. Ow. Okay, Marth, why must you critical only when you actually would have killed anyway? Still. Okay, Riz, that'll probably be your last heal before you get benched. Okay, that was a pretty nice level up, admittedly, but you're still getting benched. Yeah, Militia, by this point, pretty much suffices for all our healing needs. Riz will really only be useful if we need a second healer. But still, he's still more useful than he was in Shadow Dragon. He gets the whole prologue of healing time, whereas back then he only got, what, like 2 chapters before Lena showed up and totally outclassed him? No, we don't want to do that, do we? I'm guessing I was a little paranoid about more reinforcements coming, but I've got it covered should that happen. But no reinforcements, and this guy is gonna, have a Death Wish and attack Rapier Marth. That's better, there we go, that critical actually was useful. No level up though, and given that every enemy on the map is now gone, there's nothing left to do but get at least one last heal just for his self-esteem, and now cease. And so yeah, that's side quest 3, chapter 3X basically, and yeah, pretty short, pretty simple. Most of the side quests are quite short, but the later ones will be a lot more eventful. This one was pretty light plot-wise. And again, equally short ending dialogue. Yeah, we've got, yeah, you only say that because you're scared of us. Then again, if she had fought us, this chapter may well have been practically impossible. Actually, it probably would have been, given that we could just attack her at close range, but, who's Lady Arabia? Well, we'll be finding out a bit later. And this conversation, this is pretty much unrelated to the events of this chapter. This one is, yeah, involving Riz, and this is another one of these My Unit, appearance, options. Well, her hair looks perfectly fine as it is. If she has, hadn't had time to take care of it, that's still, Then again, Mary Sue's hair always looks brilliant and sparkling, regardless of how many battles she's been in. And so, he's offering to shave her head. Now, my rules in this challenge were that I must always say yes to these options, but only keep them for one chapter. So, unavoidably, Mary Sue will now be shaving her head. Yep. For females, they don't become completely bald, only males do. Sadly. And we'll see what she looks like next time.